One of the strategic reasons for the building of the Ji Tong line was to exploit the natural resources of Inner Mongolia and also to allow freer movement of its population, encouraging small settlements along the line, such as the settlement that we visited on this particular day. Whether or not this settlement existed before the line, it's impossible to determine, but it now lives very happily and operates cheek by jowl with the railway, which celebrates its 10th anniversary in December 2005.
With the railway track bed in the background, we watch the supreme skill of the hurdle maker as he uses fresh grown withy to make his hurdle for his animal retention. Just like we do it.
Wow, that was spectacular, wasn't it? That swirling smoke.
And now a few still images to reprise the action that we've just seen. The tremendous smoke effect from the lead engine, particularly on this double-headed freight train. It was truly spectacular. Our next move was to the shed at Daban, which was the epicenter of QJ activity in this area, but is now a shadow of its former self, and we have the opportunity to see it perhaps almost for the last time. And here we are, just at the entrance to the engine shed at Daban, and a pair of engines are just leaving, and we'll move further into the complex.
Coaling by steam crane. Not a familiar sight in the UK. These are the scrap lines, but there was a little work going on in the shed, albeit probably only remedial.
It's quite difficult to come up with something new to say about Tiananmen Square in Beijing and the Forbidden City which is adjacent to it. Tiananmen Square particularly has a reputation in recent years, but it's actually quite a wonderful open space, always filled with people, local and tourists, and there's the Forbidden City in the distance, behind the pink building with the picture of Mao Zedong on the front. But in the square itself there are a number of grand buildings. That's Mao's mausoleum, and that is somebody selling kites. They're famous for kites, and they're flown in the square, and these rather grand statues are of Mao's Great March. The Forbidden City itself is like an onion, with layers of an onion, and there's one of the entrance gates, and you can see on this graphic the various gates through which one passes as one walks from north to south. And we're now inside the first gate and walking through that to the second one and the first courtyard, and we just carry on through. The Forbidden City itself has 999 rooms, I think. VIPs such as this group are normally fast-tracked. It really is a wonderful place. It's obviously receiving quite a substantial facelift in the upcoming Olympic Games in 2008, and one wonders about the hammer with 2 new heads and 3 new handles. But I guess the spectre is the same. I didn't fancy this chap. Some kind of hippopotamus turned elephant, I think. These buildings had received a wonderful restoration, but as I said, one wonders what one is looking at, old or new. Of course, the city has suffered attacks, military attacks from the British, from the French, so there's obviously been repair work over the centuries, and here it is ongoing now on the pavements and the entrances, but the work itself is in keeping with the work of those who built it 1,000 years or more ago. Glorious tiled walls, studded doors, another gloriously tiled wall, decorated roofs both under the eaves and on the ridges. And this is a little square given over to one of the emperor's past activities. Wonderful bronzes in typical Chinese form. Dragons and grand creatures. Everything hugely decorated. The Empress apparently had a garden, and this is the edge of the garden. Oh, these are the tired travellers from our little group, and here's the garden itself with imported rocks from all over China, very old trees, and finally the far end one walks out, there's this huge moat, and we're back out in 21st century Beijing. And that's the little group that stayed the course.